Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. It's been a few weeks. We are back with some more Watch Your Lips.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Christmas is behind us.
It's over. We are literally...
It is the eve of New Year's Eve.
It is 2 days away from 2023. This will be out after the new year, but...
Yeah, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Burnsy, Jeffrey,
Jacob.
Burns, where can they listen and watch?
They can listen on YouTube.
And watch it on YouTube.
And watch it on YouTube.
You can do both.
Yeah.
You can do both.
I was testing you guys.
It's been a while.
And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at watchyour_lips. And then we're also on TikTok.
At Watch Your Lips.
Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm good.
We've been kind of just enjoying holidays with the family the last few weeks. So we apologize because I know everybody misses us. We've been your weekly entertainment for what was it? 16, 15 weeks straight. Yeah, it was time for a little break.
Podcasters need vacation too.
Work got busy. Family things get busy. It's that time of year. Did you guys have a good Christmas? I know we've spoken since, but everybody.
It was fair to Midland.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was good. Quiet.
Yeah.
Didn't really do too much.
Are you mad at me?
Are
you mad at me?
They got in a little tip.
Listen, we had a strong debate going prior to recording, and I just want to make sure Kevin's not upset with me.
I just sat here and
I wonder if
love the fact that those two were fighting for once.
Is it a sharing birthday type thing? Like we're bonded beyond?
Yes. We can fight like that because we both came out the same day.
Yeah, we were born the same day. Different years.
What are you guys?
What do you mean?
What's your sign?
I don't know.
Oh, right, male.
Did you just say male? Your sign is a male?
No, I wasn't.
Your sign.
No, he said, "What are you?" I was still answering that. I hadn't got to the sign. I don't know. Do you?
Jesus,
I don't know.
Neither one of you know.
You've brought this up before on here, and you don't really follow it either.
What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Well, I know your sign, but you don't.
Oh, and I am a Virgo. Like
what
most Virgos are the same.
Do you get dizzy?
Stubborn is one.
Yes.
Very loving.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You're all of those. Yeah, you're those.
They don't lose arguments.
Now you're making it up.
No. It's you guys go look it up. Go look up a Virgo, and you'll be like, yeah, okay.
What are we?
That's why my household didn't work out. My parents are both Virgos, and they had a Virgo kid.
Are you not supposed to be with the same sign? Is that there's? I don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah, it depends.
Okay, so you don't know anything about it either.
No, I do. It just depends. There's signs that are compatible with each other, and there's signs that aren't. I was curious as to your guys' sign to see if you were compatible or not.
Capricorns.
Are you?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's...
I don't know all of them. I know all the signs. I just don't know where they fall. So if you guys are Capricorns, probably makes sense.
I don't think so, but
I don't.
That's the only one
I don't think you are.
I don't know what that is. What does that mean? Because you said it makes
I
sense.
don't. Like I said, I don't look at all of them.
Well, I know, but you said it makes sense that we would be Capricorns.
It just sounds like you guys.
Sounds like scorpions. Kind of will sting you. Jake, you got a little sting in you?
I'm looking it up right now. So Jeff, we can answer Jeff.
This is the most boring introduction we've ever had for episode 43, guys. Welcome back.
Aquarius.
Welcome back.
Aquarius, yeah.
We're men of the water.
So why don't you guys like to fish?
Curiosity, the ability of deep insight.
That's why we could have that conversation.
Aquarius sign is the sign of genius.
Obviously.
A sign of contradictory in love.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Sensitive nervous system.
Yeah.
Aquarius women belongs to all and nobody.
All right, now go to Virgo.
Aquarius women.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Let's
go ahead and move on.
So they're just going to skip mine. All right, that's cool.
You're supposed to know yours.
I already know.
We got yours. I was thinking of this the other day. I thought it was odd because my kids are young, 7 and 5, and they believe in Santa, right? And I thought it was all these years, because I'd believed in Santa growing up, I'm assuming you guys all did as well.
I still do.
Okay. Do you?
I don't remember believing in Santa really.
No.
No, I don't. I'm sure I did. I just don't remember. There wasn't.
Do
a
your
start
kids
and end.
or did your kids?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I swear I don't like. I'm sure I did, but there was no definitive like, oh, I found out Santa was.
You don't remember
Possibly.
finding out. I mean, that would be great to hear a story of somebody finding out. Oh, Santa's not real. I don't remember.
Well,
either.
I have a story.
I
So-
figured you would.
No, Kendall just came home before Christmas break, and she's a sixth grader, to put it in perspective, right? And she still very much believed in Santa Claus.
Like now, like current.
Yeah, she's 11.
like 3 weeks ago was.
But
still
she was
believing.
getting curious as to, is it real, is it not?
Because
Right?
she's hearing things
And I
at
think
school or
that's,
what?
yeah, exactly.
So that's where I was going with this.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay, so I think that's around the time between 5th and 6th grade, like when I found out that Santa wasn't real, because I found all the boxes of all the shit that my parents bought me in my dad's car,
This is from Santa.
you know. And it just so happened to be that, you know, Santa brought all those gifts, but my dad had them all in the back of his seat. But that's not the story. So Kendall had come home and she was like, hey, everybody at school is like talking about Santa, that Santa's not real. And so Ashley tries to like smooth it over. Well, I mean, do you think it's real?
Yeah.
You know, and we got into this big conversation, and I'm going to go back to what I said, is that Santa is real. Okay. Because it goes down to, it's teaches kids faith, in my opinion. And this is how I believe it, is that if we're talking about, you know, whatever your religion is, okay, if you believe in a higher power that you haven't seen, okay, it's very similar. So when you do that for kids, in my opinion, it's you're giving them the ability to understand what faith is, to believe in something that you can't see.
Can I stop you right there? Because
Yeah.
I think that for churches or religious organizations would be a great thing for them to talk about, because it's always like a wrestling match between, do we believe in Santa or is it against our religion? So I think that's good.
Right. And theoretically, Santa's not getting around the world dropping presents off in everybody's chimney. I get that. But I'm saying that the faith behind Santa Claus,
Yeah, the concept of
okay,
it.
Yeah.
to me is something that should be believed in, because you're carrying on the tradition and the magic of Christmas. That's part of it for youth, right? That, I mean, you still don't know if you ever believed in Santa or not, right?
Yeah.
But I think a
But
lot
what
of
I'm saying is, like, if they want to believe,
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
you know, because I mean, it's still happening. People are still carrying on the traditions. Was it real at one point? Was St. Nicholas, you know, a gift giver? Did he do some? I don't know enough about that history. If we had somebody, a producer, that could look that up.
I was actually looking it up before Christmas, and there are stories throughout the centuries that there was different Saint Nics
okay,
or Saint Nicholases. that were
and
giving.
giving to those in poverty that couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it could have been the websites were not reporting the facts. I don't know.
I mean, check your sources, Burns. Check your fucking sources.
But seriously, I did look it up, and it was
the where I was going with it was like I was thinking about, you know, my kids and then like my niece and my nephew, and they're older, right? And they know the truth, right? My other nephew or my brother's kids are his two boys are younger and his daughters are older, and she knows, you know what I mean? But the beans never get spilled.
Yeah. It's like
Right.
a
Like
sacred
Like we
thing.
continue, like all these years continue to go on where like the older kids that know still like appreciate the younger ones
Right.
and like don't want to break their hearts. And
Yeah,
for some
preserve that
reason,
innocence.
it doesn't get down to them
Right.
until they reach like Kindle. And it's like, I just
She was
found,
devastated.
I thought it was amazing. I think it's amazing that doesn't happen more often, where they find out from somebody at school. Maybe it does, and I just don't know.
yeah.
But growing up and like being around all these kids, like they all believe in Santa until
Yeah.
somebody sits them down and says, "Hey, this is, you know."
Or they see Elf on the Shelf at Target, and they're like, well, if he's not real,
So if you don't let your kids listen to this,
that's
yeah,
no,
exactly.
that's what it turned into. Is well, our elf is Elliot. Well, so Elliot's not real.
Yeah.
No.
no, mom is moving him
No,
every
we're
moving, and
single
in fact,
night.
if you want to start moving him, go ahead. I
I
that
will
thing
not
annoys
bring
the
that
shit
up.
out
You
of
want to
me.
be up at 2 a.m.
Right.
putting, Polly Pocket's house together so Santa can bring it downstairs for your Christmas.
The best with
I'm not super religious. I'll put that out there. I do have faith and I believe, and that's, I'm a Christian. So, but part of Santa to me is like, it's doing God's work. Like people, you have the ability to bring magic into somebody's life that happens to live in your household, right? And when you're able to do that, and it creates that magic, right? Because they really do believe
Yeah.
that it's real.
It's
which is faith. That's
Well,
all
it's
it's faith, because you can't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, they do, it often, I think, is forgotten sometimes that Christmas is the birth of Christ. So, for some reason, Santa takes maybe more of the front and center
Yeah.
of the show than that. But
Well, it depends in what house.
Sure,
like,
it does. It does. I just thought it was interesting to think that, like, every year as Christmas comes and goes, more little kids' hearts are not broken.
Right.
At least as far as I see. I thought, I was like, how does that happen? You would think that every year some kids is getting just wrecked because they found out Santa's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And-
maybe it does happen.
But you
I
know
don't
what? And then, like you said, though, what's crazy is that Macy was protecting that.
All these
years,
she
and
knows,
she knew
and she
from-
never let it out to kids. That's what I'm saying. I
Well,
think that's
Tanner is already, he's like, yeah, Jack is going to believe. Like, he will not find out from me. And his older brother, Tyler and Jordan, they never told Tanner.
It's
It's
kind of an
what you're
unspoken.
talking about.
thought it was odd. I just was thinking about that.
That's a really good point, man.
So-
I've never thought of it that way.
Back to the elf on the shelf. If you forgot to move it one night, what would you tell the kids the next day?
That they were probably naughty and he didn't leave for the North Pole last night, and somebody probably touched him.
Yes.
Maybe his magic's gone.
Yes,
I mean, I
that's
don't know
it
what
right
you guys.
there.
What'd you guys do?
That's the go-to.
Yeah.
You touched him. No, I didn't. Well, maybe you walked by him too fast and your wind touched him because you can't touch him. Do you?
I don't have that. No, we don't do that.
Don't ever start.
Yeah. Once you start,
I don't
you can't
think
go
we're gonna-
back. I mean,
Anyways, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Hope everybody got
everybody.
everything they want. Hope Santa brought everything that the kids and everybody wanted. It's now New Year's.
so those movies, guys, they're not real either. That all of them that have Santa in them, they're not real either. Those aren't real movies.
What? They're not even real movies.
Sorry to break it to everybody. No, he's not real in those movies.
Oh, okay.
The movies
They're
are real,
not.
yeah.
They're not like documentaries where
No.
it's real people.
That would be interesting.
A Santa documentary.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
who
I
would
would
be
watch
it?
that.
Who would be the Santa?
Saint Nick himself.
He'd come back to life.
All right, okay. Let's move on.
Questions in writing, please. And right, it's been. Listen, we're off.
Yeah.
It's been a few
We're
weeks.
working
Flowing.
through the kinks.
Give us,
working through the
give us
kinks
a bit.
here.
Hey, you got a new microphone? Congrats!
I got
Welcome
a microphone.
to the club.
Yeah.
Finally,
Yeah.
As 2023 approaches, I was thinking, or 2022 comes to a close. New Year's resolutions; those are always a popular thing. Do we have any? Do you guys have any?
My resolution has
Do you
been
bu-
for
do
a
you-
long time
do
to
you-
not have resolutions.
Okay, so you don't disappoint yourself.
No, it doesn't motivate me. It's a temporary motivation, I think. I don't think
that's fair.
very good way of putting it. I also don't have New Year's resolutions. Haven't. I don't think ever.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I'm not motivated now in
What's
December,
tomorrow gonna
what's
do?
tomorrow going to
Yeah.
do for me?
Hey, I am with you.
But if I did have one, it would be to go to that gym that I've been telling you guys that I go to every day at noon that I don't go to.
You don't?
No.
Wow.
Well, I haven't. I mean, the holidays
Oh,
just
yeah,
kicked
it's
my
tough.
ass, and
Yeah.
sweets and bourbon and
Yeah.
eggnog.
The bourbon
Pies.
was flowing.
So
No
believe it
cake.
or not, from Thanksgiving and even to now, most people gain weight, and I've actually lost weight.
Attaboy.
I'm so like I'm not ashamed to admit, right? I'm like, I don't want to say so big, but like to the fact like you don't really even notice.
I
you know what I
told you.
mean?
I told you before.
You
I
were
know
just
this.
trying to flatter
I'm not
me.
trying to flatter you. I hate you, so I would not try to flatter you.
Well, check your sources.
I can see it in your face.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly. That's what I can see. Still got that.
So no
cute
no-
adolescent look.
I don't think I
Do
look.
you have a New Year's resolution, Jake?
No,
Are you a believer?
No, I just be every day. You just got to be better. Try to be better every day. You know what I was thinking? Like I told my dad this. Like I need to swear less.
Not a bad idea. Not.
I know it's
just
not
for
that I
you.
swear a lot, and I know on here sometimes it comes out.
Yeah.
But I don't want people to think like, oh, that's just my standard vocab.
He's
is
a potty mouth.
Is he's a bad?
You got a party, man.
I don't normally talk that way.
Right.
So clean that up maybe a little bit. Just be more focused, or
Try and
keep it
use
in mind.
Different words.
So in 2024, you'll turn it back on.
I don't know.
No, it's February. It's turning back.
So
on.
New Year's resolution only lasts 1 year, right?
1 month.
A couple days, a week or two. I was thinking
see
this
what you're
though.
saying. I've picked it up. Yes.
From resolutions to, and I don't want to say regrets, but we're all in our. You're both 41.
40.
You're 40. I'm sorry. You're going to be 41. I'm going to be 40. Any hobbies or interests in life that you wish you would have continued or should start up again? Anything from your past that
Snowboarding.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be.
I love that.
We used to go snowboarding a
Yeah.
lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I went 3 years ago with the boys and picked up. It was like riding a bike.
Really?
I mean, it was
And
a little
were
harder
you
to
sore?
move.
Did you do it heavily? Like
No, not like
you
I did.
never had it's snow when the
That was
back
me.
in the day.
yeah
I
when
used
powder
to.
comes
Oh, yeah.
every
Oh, yeah.
weekend I'm
Yep.
at the
I had the season pass. Every
really
Yeah, I did too.
Oh yeah.
really I had no idea.
Oh yeah, we used
Yeah.
to go all the time.
Yeah, with your
we
cousin.
we got an old picture that and Brett Rosa's in that.
Yep.
Larry Cabrera, shout out to him.
Well,
in
you got to have a
Texas.
different one.
Mine is just to golf more. I always say every year that I'm going to golf more, and actually in 22 I did, but not as much as I would like to. I'd like to golf at least.
But is that
weekly.
something like back in the day that you did? Well, you did play a lot. I remember we actually did.
Yeah, high school and college I played all the time, and then once I had kids, it kind of just tapered off.
Obviously, things change,
But they're older now.
priorities change.
Yeah.
and that would be something I definitely want to do.
Interesting.
You
Mine was playing music.
makes sense.
Writing
Were
music.
you
do you
were you
play-
on bass? Were you a bass guitarist?
I did actually.
Lead guitarist?
No, I wasn't the lead guitarist, but
Pianist?
I played bass at our church youth group, worship group, and then but I was in I played music in a band for I don't know,
Odds
8
of
years.
Falling.
Yeah.
And
Odds
what was
of
it called?
Falling.
odds of falling.
They had a
yeah.
few really good hits, actually.
Yeah, Jeff, I think you had a CD, right?
I did have a CD.
Or
I
both
Do
bought
you
of
them.
still have that music?
I do.
You should.
I don't listen to it very often.
What type of music was it?
It was rock. I mean, I don't. The genre at the time, I'm not really sure, but
Bush.
no,
It was like
a
in
little harder than
between
that.
like Kid Rock and Elton John. Somewhere in between there.
It was. I can't explain. I couldn't tell you a genre. It was.
What you were feeling?
There was some heavy. A little heavy.
It was good.
You ever pick that pickup?
I sold all my stuff.
Did you really?
I have one electric guitar that I let my little brother use,
Uh-huh.
and then I have my acoustic guitar still. But that's it. I sold all my.
Do you
other,
ever play it?
I've played it maybe twice in the last 2 years.
Would you be able to teach?
I haven't played electric guitar
Burns wants to learn
in,
guitar.
in months.
I own
I
a
do.
guitar, and I actually do too.
Been months.
Maybe that should be our Watch Your Lips New Year's resolution.
Jake teaches
Jake
us.
teaches us how to play
Every
guitar.
record-
I was not very good at it. I mean,
He's gonna hit us in the
My
hands.
dad was one hell of a guitarist.
Was he?
Oh yeah, He
Like, I
played
taught-
all the time. growing
taught
up.
myself really. I didn't never had lessons, so I don't know. I mean, I know from basic chords.
Right.
And, yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember how I just kept practicing, learning to listening to other stuff.
When it had to be harder back then because there
Well, and the
wasn't
guys that
internet.
when I decided to do the band, they were already playing music.
Okay.
And then they were, I don't know how I just got involved somehow. I just ended up being a guitar player and singing.
Oh, you sang too.
Yeah.
Jake, I want to hear this.
Nah, you don't need
I
to.
do.
But
We're gonna
I
hear it after.
Yeah, it's the
I,
voice of an angel over here.
I was like, I should, play more, write more music, right? Because my little brother is freak.
Yeah, I saw him on
Super
Instagram. Looked good.
talented guy. Like he started out as a drummer as a kid, and like that became like breathing, like how easy. I mean, he makes it look that anyways.
Yeah.
But then he taught himself guitar, bass, piano, you name it, and he's a super talented guy.
Skin flute.
No, not so much that one. No.
Okay, way to just ruin. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe play more music. I like
Nice.
the snowboarding. I had
think
no
they're good.
idea. I didn't know you guys were.
I don't know
Oh,
if my
yeah.
knees could do
It's
it now,
not-
and
it-
my
you ju-
ankles, because it
Well, you don't go as hard. Like when I went a few years
burns.
back, I didn't.
I go hard no matter what I do, and I'll get hurt. Like honestly, like if I go back out there, I'm jumping. I'm like
Let's
doing.
do it. Let's do it.
No, I'm going on jumps.
Let's go.
And shit. I'm going through the trees.
Get that
Yeah.
half pipe.
Dude, I grew up in the snow pretty much. I mean, I was on skis at 3.5.
You look
Never
like you
done
came
it.
down from the snow today.
I was.
I've never done it.
You've never skied or snowboarded
I've
in your
snowboarded.
life?
Yes, I've never skied.
Wow.
Skiing,
Hey,
I can't.
do me a
stand.
favor. Ask your brother-in-law the one time that he went snowboarding. He went with me,
I'll ask him.
and I told him specifically not to wear jeans. He had never done it before.
Yeah,
He was fucking miserable.
I could imagine.
Like he wanted to quit after like 2 hours.
Well,
And
yeah,
I know
'cause
he
you spend-
listens, so you'll remember that day. You did want to quit, Phil.
Yeah, so just get out there. Let's.
I like that.
Maybe go snowboarding.
I'm going to.
Call me.
I really am. I'm going.
Did
this
you
year.
rent all your gear, or do you still have gear?
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
I sold it back in the dark days.
Well, but see, I was thinking about it because I've done a lot of stuff, like the coaching thing. A lot of people think that's, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, me too, but I don't have any desire to
Yeah,
get
that
back
season
into it.
of your life is kind of over.
I always enjoyed playing music. We would tour and travel and go
Right.
play all over the place and like meeting people and playing with other bands. Like I was just thinking about that, like or driving a race car. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff was fun, but like the music part was like always something I go back to. Like I really.
You should do it.
So I should start. Yeah, I was thinking maybe start writing some more music.
I'll sing it for you.
Golf. We could all do that with you.
I could probably do a little
Yeah,
less.
but I mean that just to me
Your wife probably said
when you
that.
talk about hobbies, like at this age, that's something that like it's good
Yeah.
exercise
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
fun and competitive.
you can bet a little.
Anything new that you'd want to try? Like anything that you have? Because my buddy.
I've been saying I wanted to play guitar. I actually had my dad give me his guitar. I have it. I played it one time. No idea. Looked on YouTube trying to figure out the chords and shit. Couldn't do it.
It takes.
And didn't put it away.
It takes a lot
Or
of time.
didn't bring it back out.
You can,
but I want to.
You can play it while your daughter sings.
There you
'cause
go.
She's got a beautiful
She
voice.
does.
Thank you.
She
Thank
really
you.
does.
She does.
That was
She
amazing.
needs to use it more.
Yeah. Well, play alongside her.
Guys, it's been a few weeks too. Sorry, we've been off. Do you guys have any heaters? Has anything pissed you off, or you've just been so consumed with what's going on holiday wise that?
I mean, a lot pisses me off.
Okay. Check your sources.
Well, that's one thing that is annoying when the headline of an article says this photo or this video, and then the body of the article has none of that, and that's what
Clickbait.
it's talking about.
It's
Well,
clickbait.
there was a lot of controversy with the Brittany Griner getting
Oh, gosh.
released from the
Is that a
Russian
heater for you?
penitentiary. Not really a heater. I mean, we what was the trade off to bring her back?
The weapon, the death
it was like
weapon,
an arms dealer.
Yeah.
A Russian arms dealer. you know.
Yeah, that's probably a heater.
the beacon of
Heater
death.
worthy, don't you think?
Well, and I guess there's
giving the beacon of death back to the
Yeah.
death country.
They were saying that there's like a former military, like Marines, or there's
guy.
there's a couple guys there that in Russia that were ex-military for the United States, and why are we not? I don't know.
There's that one. I don't remember the guy's name, but he had been there.
We're
3
bringing
years,
the WNBA basketball star back.
who doesn't even like our country, right?
That's what they. I haven't looked into it
Based
enough.
on what I've seen,
Based on
not
what
not
she
very much,
said,
and
yeah.
surely not now. But
What-
really
what-
liked him when she got released.
I do have a question. What if she was turned into like a spy, a Russian spy, while she was there?
See, these are conspiracy theories.
But
that-
I'm just throwing it out there. What if that happened? I mean, they're known to try and turn people, right? They gave her up. They won't give up a military guy. I'm guessing he's not churning. What if that happened?
I mean, I like where your mind's at. I just don't know if she could pull it off.
Why
mean,
she'd
she
be
did
hiding
get
in plain
caught.
sight?
with bags and bags of weed.
But that
on
wasn't
her.
the first time she'd done it, and they probably
No,
had caught her
but-
before, and they let her go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
Do you think if she was, I mean, if she wasn't who she was, would they have ever stopped her and looked anyways?
Yeah, I don't. Who knows?
Good question.
High profile person.
Right.
But no,
Interesting.
not really any heaters.
I got one.
Okay.
And it's not important. It's really not. But I remember as a kid growing up watching the halftime of like the national championship football game. And what do they do at halftime at the bowl game? Dr. Pepper always
Yeah, they
did
throw,
the football
they throw it into the
for-
Dr. Pepper.
for money. Now they do it for scholarships. And I keep seeing these and I start to shake
Where they're throwing them like this.
when they're like basketballs.
Yeah.
That should not be allowed.
Doesn't
No.
count. You're on a football field, throw the spiral.
Yeah.
I agree. Is that
Well,
where
they-
you're going?
they need it
Yes.
to be
Yeah.
equal.
That's a good heater, dude.
What's I can't like that. None of those should count.
No.
But in
No,
the
people
spirit
are-
of equality
it's
is
like
probably
those,
why they do it, which is
Then I don't
ridiculous.
care about equality.
Well, it's like at the Chuck E. Cheese, where they have the two baskets that you're competing and you're just throwing as many as you can. That's all they're doing. They didn't do that when we were growing up. They actually threw like quarterbacks.
They threw it like a quarterback.
Yeah. You want a scholarship? Throw it like a quarterback.
Right.
Earn
Yeah,
this
Earn
shit.
this.
Earn it. Anybody can chuck these out of a little
And if you
canister
don't,
or whatever
if you
it
don't
is,
want issues,
bucket.
don't put up a girl versus a guy.
Right.
There was a tie, and I think Dr. Pepper did the right thing. They gave both the scholarship.
Yeah.
That's a good move. It's a good look, right?
Yes.
You don't want that bad PR.
No.
But shooting footballs like it's a basketball is no.
Yeah, good heater.
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
not on board.
Not on board. Off board.
Guys, there's been a lot going on in NFL. I mean, the Dogs won the bowl. Everybody knows Dogs won the bowl game.
I was there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
How
right.
was that?
How was
I heard that stadium is legit.
Dude, okay. SoFi looks great on TV. It doesn't do it justice at all.
Really?
Like when you go into that place, it is the best stadium I've ever been in. It was phenomenal. And I think it seats like 78,000. The way that the layers are set up, the standing room could be another 30,000.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I heard everything's like chair back,
oh yeah.
every seat.
Every single seat.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet.
I forget who I was
And the
talking
Red
to.
Wave, okay,
Showed up, it looked like.
as of yesterday, had the highest attendance for any bowl game for fans so far through yesterday. I don't
Nice.
know. I would imagine Oregon traveled pretty good. But yeah, I mean, close proximity to
support.
home too.
Yeah.
Foggy as shit.
Was it?
Oh yeah,
What time
Yeah.
did you leave?
5:30 in the morning. Got home at 9.
Hey, it was a dub.
It was a
a
dub.
dub.
We smoked Washington
Yeah, we
State. I mean, we made them look silly.
No, it was a good game. It looked cool. It's fun to watch. Good performance.
And now
It's-
we have another quarterback,
yeah.
Jake, Mikey Keene
Yep.
from UCF, transfer to the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Nice.
He was a true freshman at UCF, started 8 games. Got benched this year because they brought in a senior, I think, from Auburn. Maybe not Auburn, but one of the bigger schools, and he ended up losing his job. But they speak really highly of him.
Good.
Yeah, we'll see who he's going to throw the ball to.
Yeah,
That's
we've
it.
lost a lot of playmakers.
Yeah.
Are both the what is it?
Moreno,
Moreno,
Croppers,
And Remigio.
They're both gone.
and I think Pope's
Pope's
gone.
gone.
And
Josh
Kelly's
Kelly's in the
transferring.
transfer portal right now.
Oh, really?
so looks like you and me are going to have some tryouts.
Let's do it.
I don't think so.
Let's
I
do
think
it.
Fresno, they always
be-
get receivers.
yeah, they'll be fine.
They'll
Yeah.
be fine. They
They'll
will
be
be
fine.
fine.
I mean, Delena's back. They'll be all right, man. They'll be fine.
And they got some youth coming up, too, that's going to be good. But go Dogs.
The
Go Ducks.
around the NFL though, I mean, I can't go back 2 to 3 weeks, but the big news recently. Let's start with the Broncos because I think it's like none of it makes sense to me. But Hackett has been fired by the Broncos. We kind of all saw that coming, yes.
Yeah, we called it
Yes.
weeks ago.
But do you think that's the problem? I'm just asking. I'm not
I think,
trying to sway.
yeah, I think part of it is, yeah. Part of it is.
I
Part
agree.
of it's
I think-
You
Russell
think Hackett
Wilson's
was-
ego.
Yeah, I think Hackett just he wasn't ready to be a head
He
coach.
just couldn't hack it.
He could not hack it.
Yeah.
Bad
Hey, that a boy, Coxie. Yeah, he just seemed overwhelmed. He seemed not prepared, not for lack of preparing, but he just wasn't ready for the head coach. I can't even talk.
It kinda
head coach position.
It kind of started with that. Was it the first game of the year where
First or second game when he didn't call the timeout.
Yeah.
and then he kicked a field goal instead of
Yeah.
Like a 60-something yard field goal.
yeah, and they had an opportunity, or he had an opportunity to kick a field goal for the win.
Yes,
and they went for it. It was something like that, and I'm just thinking, like, why didn't you take your chances just
Yeah.
kicking? I don't remember. It was something.
Well, I mean,
it was a questionable decision, and it's like it started there, and it never stopped after that.
Well, most coordinators, though, do struggle in the first year.
yeah.
Just not like that.
Well, when you,
know, he
hire a
made-
coach to coach your coach, you probably made a bad decision.
Yeah, and I just, it didn't look like he had control over the locker room. I mean, Russell Wilson's too busy making commercials and
Yeah.
doesn't care. Thinks it's funny that he has more bathrooms than touchdown passes.
I think
Does he?
that's how many. I think he's past that now. Yeah,
He's at 12
No,
now,
he's
right?
got 13, actually. I was wrong. He has 13 bathrooms.
So there's 2
12
weeks in the
touchdowns.
season, and he's we'll get going further. But so he's gone. I think Wilson's the other part of that piece. Obviously, you lose Javonte. They had Judy down for a while. They've had some injuries.
Yeah,
That
KJ
defense
Hamler.
has been
KJ
good.
Hamler went out early.
The defense has kept them in a number of games. They're probably just worn out now. But
They'll be a comeback team next year if they're healthy. I really think
With
so.
Wilson.
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think
They're going to keep him.
I agree. I think they will be too.
And all the articles that I have read are saying that they're buying into him,
Yeah.
which I mean, he's had
but who's
bad
buying?
seasons
Who's
before.
buying into him? Who are they saying buying is
The
buying?
ownership's buying in.
Yeah, but who cares about that?
Are
Like
the
if
players?
the players aren't. It doesn't seem like it. I see more stuff on like the receivers or the linemen or the people like this dude's just kind of full of shit.
Yeah.
So who cares if they're not on the field with you?
Okay,
They're not
but-
practicing with you.
I get that, but also like any stage of coaching, it doesn't matter where you're at. Like, did that happen under Pete Carroll? And if it did,
So
did
is
anybody hear
Pete-
about it?
But is Pete Carroll the difference?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's coached
How do
a
you
lot of
go
big name
from 9-time
personalities.
Pro Bowl, Super Bowl champ, elite, one of the top 5 quarterbacks every year to literally statistically
The worst.
the worst,
Yeah.
and not even in a full season?
So was
Or did Seattle see something that nobody else saw? Because we all shit.
I don't know, dude. He
on
had a lot of
Seattle.
success in Seattle. He had a championship in Seattle. He's had NFC championships there. He played really well. Also, though, he was never a big touchdown machine. Like Russell Wilson would beat you with his legs too, but he had seasons where 20 touchdown passes, 24 touchdown passes, 28 touchdown passes. In today's game, it's not very good statistically, right? I mean,
It's
Tua
not.
has 24, and
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about him yet.
Not
We'll
yet.
get to the Tua hour.
But
but
we're moving there. We're moving there slowly. The Broncos are an interesting situation considering, here's the segue, now what the Raiders are going through. Because their head coach and that organization has decided to bench Derek Carr. And I get it. There's reasons business-wise and business motivations behind it. It's not just his play.
what are the business motivations behind it?
The cost it would for him to get injured. There's benefits to them
It
financially.
would cost him like $45 million if he were to get injured in the last 2
But he
weeks.
also has to approve of any trade too.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and he's owed a certain amount of money up until like the last day of the season. I thought I saw or heard.
Look, we've said it from the beginning. McDaniels is the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and rescue Derek Carr because he has not had a good year. In fact, doesn't he have the most interceptions?
He does not. I think he's tied.
Okay, Dak probably does.
Dak. So that's where I was going to get into. Okay, so in this situation, right, you have the Broncos. Hackett is the problem. He gets fired. Russell's part of the problem, but he's going to your starting QB. The Raiders, McDaniels, I think the majority would say is the problem.
That's what I think.
And Derek Carr is getting benched, and now he's going to be inactive the last 2 weeks.
Okay, But
So who's the problem in Vegas? Is it
it's McDaniels. Look, you have an interim head coach last year
who gets
Right.
the playoffs?
Yeah.
who gets them to the playoffs. Derek Carr played exceptionally well towards the end of that year, right? You flip the script and turn it upside down, and you bring Devontae Adams in. That's probably one of the best playmakers in the entire NFL. You didn't lose much other personnel. You go get Chandler Jones. You've got Max Crosby. Like, your defense was really good last year. Now your defense sucks.
Well,
Your offensive line is atrocious, and he's running for his life. Okay, but he also made horrible decisions on the field. Derek Carr did this year. So you can't just rescue him. But McDaniel's offense, for some reason, in Oakland or Las Vegas, doesn't work.
Well, they didn't have Renfro
worked,
for a
it
while.
worked in New England. It worked with Tom Brady. It worked with Mac Jones, who's not a mobile quarterback. Derek Carr is a mobile quarterback. I mean, remember him early.
If he needs to be.
Yeah, but he can. He can run. And he ran at Fresno. He ran early in his career. He's not a slow guy. He's smart. He'll slide. He's not going to take a hit. He broke his ankle when he did that. So McDaniels needs to change something regardless. Stidham, Carr, they bring somebody in. It's not going to change. I don't think it's going to change. He tanked in Denver.
Yeah.
He did get Tim Tebow, okay, to go to a playoff. They won that playoff game by luck. It's the only playoff game he's been in and won as a head coach. And then this year, I mean, complete disaster. The Raiders on paper were phenomenal. You
Yeah,
picked
that-
them.
that
You picked
whole
them.
I picked
Division.
him to win the division.
Yeah.
Dummy. But he didn't have Renfro for a while. Waller was out for a while. I mean, Jacobs is
Renfro's been a ghost. Dude, they haven't used him
Yeah.
when he's on the field.
what's the other guy? Hollins?
Mac
Mac
Hollins.
Hollins.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
Jacobs has.
The defense has been atrocious.
Jacobs has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Leading the league. And he came out and said, I'm staying.
Oh,
You-
did
I
he?
want to be a Raider. I have enough money.
They have the record. What is it for most losses up by a certain? Was it like 13 or something like that? 4 losses with at least a 13-point lead. Like, I don't know, man. It's
Yeah,
hard.
there's
It's
something
hard to see.
organizationally wrong there.
Like, you see what he's had to deal with there with coaching changes and players, screwing up and
Yeah.
doing things off the field. You know what I mean? Like, the list is long.
Yeah.
And I think about what if Derek Carr had a career in Seattle
Well,
and
you-
in an environment where Pete Carroll's been. He's the only guy that Russell Wilson ever knew. Like, look at that guy, like a Belichick type of stability. Mm-hmm. What does his career look like then?
yeah,
Like, it's like he got the shit into the stick being drafted by the Raiders.
absolutely.
And it's like
And then
I love I'm a fan. I like the Raiders. I like the fan base. There's no more passionate other than maybe some of the Dolphins fans. But this is super passionate fan base.
But you're drafting Darius Hayward Bay. You're drafting Henry Ruggs for him. Like, there are better players in the draft that you passed on because you want the flash guys.
And you got the draft picks too. You traded for
Yeah.
draft picks.
And you fucked them up.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like, and the same thing happened to David. Like, when the line started breaking down, he's running for his life. What do you expect?
I mean, think about that too. Like, if the Texans could have been an expansion team the year after he got drafted.
Yeah.
I never looked up who was the second pick of that year of the year David got drafted, but like, just, it's not all of it's bad luck, but I mean, you look at Derek's career and what he's over. Listen, he doesn't bitch about it. You ever hear him complaining about his situation or his,
No.
Like, it's like he's loved being a Raider more than anybody else on that team.
But what I don't understand now is the last 2 weeks, he asked for basically a granted release to not be with the team. So for personal reasons, he doesn't want to be a distraction to the Raiders. Well, what does that mean?
I think that was mutual. That was agreed upon.
Well,
right?
yeah, I
but,
think
but what?
because
But why?
We're not
all
going to
the
know.
attention is going to end up being on him. Maybe he's still being a team guy, even though they're crapping on him.
It's totally out of character for him.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's what strikes me as odd. Like, why is he not finishing out the season? He's not a guy that, hey, well, we started,
So
we're not going to finish.
You think
He's not
they've
that
already
guy.
told him you're gone?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there's a
But
small,
where does he go now?
oh, there's the number
Miami.
of places, I think.
I would love him in Miami.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fit
I mean, where I don't want him to go is the New York Jets or the New England Patriots. He can go anywhere else because I can't root for Carr.
You think if
at those two places?
Seattle doesn't make the playoffs, that
Could
is
be.
up?
I told Jeff that I felt like that would be a great fit. Personally, for me,
Yeah.
I thought Seattle. I think New Orleans is a spot in need. Has a need
What if he
now.
ends up in
Because
Houston?
I think Geno Smith's deserved a shot to continue to be the starting quarterback there.
Geno Smith should be the starting quarterback there at least for one more year.
Yeah. So I'm
At
thinking,
least.
I think, unfortunately, there's teams that are in need that aren't really contenders. The Saints being one, the Texans being one, the Colts being one.
yeah. I saw somewhere where it was saying he's already.
What are
packing
the
up
Jets
for
going to
Indy.
do?
If I was Derek Carr, I would go to the Jets. If I had the option to go to the Jets.
What about
to
the
play for
Panthers?
Saleh, they're obviously going to keep him. They're going to keep Robert Saleh.
Mm-hmm.
That's stability. They've got a run game. Breece Hall's coming back. Okay. They've got tons of receivers, youth too, that are young. They've got two good tight ends. They got a good line. They got a great defense. They need a quarterback.
And I think if you can make
So
it through
the Jets should have clinched had they had a quarterback.
Maybe.
Their quarterback
I think
carousel
that's
the last 4 weeks has ruined their chances. They can still get in,
pretty crazy.
but
Panthers are another one. The Titans. I don't know what Tannehill's deal is. Malik hasn't been great.
Well,
when
they
he was-
didn't even start.
He didn't
him
play last night. No.
right? And Tannehill's done for the year.
Yeah.
I think Tannehill's done in Tennessee.
And the reason why I asked who the problem was is because of the numbers, right? Dak, and listen, Dak's played in 11 games. Okay. 11 games, 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns to 14 picks. And I think Derek Carr's 24 touchdowns to 14 picks with 3,500 yards roughly. So he had a
And he's
chance to
played
get,
in every game.
yeah. And he said, but 2 games, he had another opportunity to get to over 4,000 yards. Listen, they had some late losses. They've had some blown leads. Is it on his shoulders? Unfortunately, in this situation, it was. And that's why the difference in Denver and the difference in Las Vegas is odd to me, because Mr. Unlimited in 13 games is at 3,000 yards. So he's 500 fewer with 12 touchdowns and 9 picks.
Well, you took a lot of risk. by
And he's
doing
making
what
a
you're
shit
doing
ton
now.
more money
Yeah.
than Derek Carr. Granted, he's got maybe a better resume. He's got a Super Bowl. He's got some big wins. He's been there a couple times. Is it just because is Russell Wilson? Is it the name thing more than Derek Carr? I don't know.
No, I don't
Like in
know.
this
I
situation,
think
if you had to pick a quarterback, who are you going to roll? If you had to pick DC or Wilson, who are you going to pick? You had to pick one of those guys to be your starting quarterback tomorrow.
Today, Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants Russell Wilson right now, including the Broncos fans anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe I was rallying for him to go to Miami.
On top of this, so
may have been
and
good
sticking
there.
with the Raiders, because it's such a bizarre, who wants out now?
Well, that's where I was going. Okay, so the Raiders drew the line in the sand and they said, okay, we're going to commit to Josh McDaniels. That's what we're doing, right? Because if you're taking your franchise quarterback who you've extended twice now, that apparently the organization believed in him at one time and then enough to believe in him a second time.
Recently too,
Yeah,
right? In the last
year.
Yeah.
And then you bring in Josh McDaniels and it's a shit show. And you're drawing the line and saying, okay, we're going to stick with McDaniels
Yeah.
now.
But like Waller's been extended, his deal's done.
Yeah, but Adams is already coming out.
Oh, he's pissed.
And he's like, this is the reason I came. Everybody knew that was
Right.
the reason he came. Also for the money. But Green Bay offered the exact same amount of money that we found out later. And he turned that down to go and play with Derek Carr. So he's going to support his brother, is what he said, which is great.
But he's not sitting out, right?
I mean,
I hope not.
No, he's playing.
no. I don't think any of they shouldn't.
No.
They shouldn't. I know.
No,
I saw.
he said, I'm
sure
gonna
there's
finish
stuff
with
in
the
his
last 2
contract
weeks.
to kickers to make.
Listen,
more.
and I don't think Derek Carr is that kind of person to say you should do this because this they did to me.
yeah, no.
I don't.
But
Think,
did you see Ayuk came out and he's like, you should
I
follow
saw
it.
it. I saw it. I saw a lot of people upset that this is not the goodbye that the fans wanted to have with Derek Carr either, assuming he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Because there is a small chance he stays. I mean,
Look,
It's
what
not
was it? 4 years ago, he's an MVP candidate before he breaks his ankle.
yeah, high
Yeah.
MVP candidate. Yeah,
Like
And
he's brought the Raiders back to the playoffs a couple different times.
last year.
Yeah,
And when,
but before
when it was-
2000, who did that?
yeah, no, you had
Rich Gannon.
Rich Gannon.
Yeah, in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Okay, that whole batch in between, complete disaster.
Do you think if
Then you get
Gruden
Derek Carr.
stays, it could have stayed, it would be much different this year? I do.
I
think
yeah, probably.
I think that partnership between Carr and Gruden would have been
I forget the guy,
Something to
the
watch.
coach that was there. I forget how to pronounce his name. Last year,
the coordinator.
yeah, it was a special
He's at
teams.
Green Bay now, right?
Yeah,
I don't.
I think he is. I mean, if he stays, it's
Rich
different.
something, I think.
I just
Yeah.
forget how to
Yeah.
pronounce his last name. But I mean, even I think with him there, it's still different.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a rough deal. It sucks to see. And listen, we're biased because we're Bulldog fans and we love Derek Carr and we support our Bulldogs.
McDaniels needs a new haircut.
So
I mean,
does
dude,
Aaron Rodgers.
the guy,
dude.
it was
Yeah, he looks
it was
creepy.
raining the last
God, did
game.
Did you see Aaron Rodgers' hair
It was
No, I
bad.
didn't.
on Christmas Day?
No, I didn't.
Dude, I told Bernsey after that game or during the game, I'm like, we should have bet that somebody has to cut their hair like Aaron Rodgers.
It was bad.
Dude, there was no blending. Okay. Like half of his hair was long, half was short, half long, half short. Like
It was- yeah, it
it was
was a mess.
disgusting.
I'll have to. I didn't.
He looked
even-
like a creep.
I didn't.
Yeah,
look.
he
that
did.
was my response to
Your
you.
boy.
Yeah, but he looked like a creep. Like he's luring kids into a van.
Yeah.
A windowless
Check
van.
your sources, bro.
He did, right?
Yeah, he did.
With a puppy or something.
You know, listen, I got to go backwards in time, and I don't know if you were full time Watch Your Lips podcast guy yet, but how about those Detroit Lions? I mean, it's worked out honestly for both the Rams, who got their Super Bowl, has struggled this year, and the Lions. Let's be honest, Goff hasn't sucked.
No.
No.
He's been
He hasn't.
pretty good.
You guys like to laugh at me.
Listen, I
When I
was
make-
never.
when I
I
make-
wanted it.
I'm telling you, dude, Detroit last year, erase this year. Okay. Last year, they could have done the exact same thing they're doing this year. The difference between the two is they found a way to win half
Yeah.
their games this year. Last year, they found a way to lose them all.
Yeah.
Okay. When they figure this defense out, the personnel, upper personnel figures out that they need a defense on this field, they're going to be dangerous.
I think Jamal Williams has been big too. Not
He
having
has. He's
Swift for a
fallen
while.
off- he's fallen off quite
well, I
a
think
bit,
he's.
but-
I think he's hurt.
I think he is too.
You know, but the time he had to fill in for Swift, dude, he was a major asset because you lost Raw for a little bit.
Dude, I would love to see them sneak in as the 7th seed and play the Vikings.
The
Vikings.
I would
The
not.
Vikings, Randy.
I would not love to see that.
Well,
Well, just because it's
yeah, you don't want to
means
see
Green
either
Bay
one. But what I'm
probably
saying
wouldn't be
is,
in.
if they get in,
No, it'll be entertaining.
that's a scary ass team
Yeah. They don't want to play them.
because they can score points.
They can. They move the ball, man. I'm happy to see it. I'm with you. I didn't want to believe it was possible because the history doesn't show that they get it done. But they've been good.
They're
and what,
biting
they're
knees
7-8 right now, or 7-7. I mean, it's awesome, dude. I love it. The other one, and Jeff's also been saying this, is those Bengals, dude. I'm finally to the point where it's like, okay, I don't want to play them.
Yeah.
I don't want to play the Bengals.
Dude, nobody wants to play the Bengals.
I don't.
And I'll tell you, the team that really doesn't is the Chiefs because
Yeah,
they
they have-
own the
They do.
Chiefs.
Yep.
They're not afraid
And-
to play anybody, man. It's just it's execution for something. Like they just, if they play well, they're the best team in the football.
Well, look, I love my Niner people. The Bang Bang Niner
I'm getting
gang.
there. I'm getting there. They're next on my list.
No, but they know this. Okay.
Okay.
But dating ourselves, and we can remember these days, but Joe Montana, okay, that Niners team, they never really blew people out. There were times that they did, and yes, I know they blew Denver out in that Super Bowl. It was like 55-6 or whatever, 10. But during the regular season, the Niners wouldn't just blow teams out, okay? The Bengals are very similar. They just, if you leave them in the game long enough, they are going to beat you. Period. Just like those Niners did in the 80s and early 90s with Joe Montana and Steve Young. You leave them in the game, and they have 2 minutes left on the clock, and they're down by 3, you're going to lose. That's Joe Burrow. That's this Bengals team. So getting into the playoffs in that environment, okay, I would not want to play the Bengals.
No.
At all. I mean, we're going to get a really good briefing on Monday night when the Bills and the Bengals play, because to me, those are the two best AFC teams. And I may get some argument from you guys, the Chiefs. I get it. They're good. Their defense isn't as good as those two teams.
I mean, it's a
They're
tougher
gonna get
road to
scored
the
on.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs are still the team to beat.
Oh, we'll beg the difference.
I think Bengals are a scary team, but I think Chiefs are still,
And
they haven't done anything to not be.
this is what I love about Cincinnati and what they're doing. Okay, this is his second full year, and they proved everybody wrong last year, made it to the Super Bowl. What's he do? He turns around and he does it again.
I mean, they've had some sloppy
so-
games in there.
They have. But
And I think that's where
but-
Burns is talking about the Chiefs, because they're more consistently consistent,
yeah.
whereas the Bengals haven't been.
But
Granted,
but
there was some injury in there, and
you almost lost to the Texans
they've done it
2
without
weeks ago.
Tyreek.
You lost to the Colts early on.
Hey, listen,
You lost to the Bengals.
listen.
Like,
The Texans are the last 3-4
should have
weeks,
lost to the Titans.
but they're not the same football team
Yeah,
they
they've
were
been
the
playing.
first 10 weeks.
Who?
The Texans.
Texans.
No.
They're bad. Listen, they're
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
but they've actually
they've
been
figured
pretty good.
something out to.
They
And they're
haven't been-
doing it without a running game. Damian Pierce has been out for, 5 weeks now?
Something like that, a couple weeks. Yeah.
So,
This weekend and next weekend should be fun with football.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to come.
It's
I mean, I think
exciting.
next week
So
with
many
the
teams are
Jags
still
in
in it.
Tennessee, they're playing for the division winner.
Yeah.
that'll be the Jags.
I'm
I
with
think
you
so,
on that too.
Well, and then the NFC side, you have what you're getting to, right? The Niners.
Before we jump into, I mean, we can go to the Dolphins or the Niners next. It's because I got a short thing on the Niners and maybe this is a calm your lips, or a shout out to our good friend Caleb Bravo, who we been praying for.
Yes, we have.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know Caleb Bravo, he was a guest. I think he was on the last episode, or
A couple
42,
ago.
right?
Yeah. He did Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just keep them in your thoughts and prayers, going through a unimaginable situation. But yeah, shout out. This is a Wacho Mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Is Shanahan a coach of the year candidate?
Yes.
Yes.
Considering
Yes.
you look at like the injuries they've dealt with,
Shanahan is coach of
like
the year.
that team's pretty resilient.
You
Like
lost your starter.
I know you're not, the Bang Bang's pretty popular on here, at least listeners wise. But, and I know as a team, they've faced adversities through injury, but like he's not even flinched at it. And they've, like
He's
we
got
talked about
Mr.
this,
Irrelevant
that
as his
offense,
quarterback.
but I think that they're not built around a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. That's
No, you've been saying that.
You've said, yeah.
But you
And,
know
and
what?
obviously that shows to be true.
Here's
But like, dude, they're dangerous, bro. It's like,
they're extremely dangerous. And why they're even more dangerous is Brock Purdy doesn't turn the ball over.
he hasn't yet.
He has 8 touchdowns and 2 picks since he started. The first pick was in the Miami Dolphins game. He wasn't even prepared to play. Okay? So, Bang Bang Niner gang, I'm taking everything back. Purdy is, I can watch my lips responsibly here. Done it many a times. Purdy he's getting you guys to the Super Bowl. Now, depending on who they play, is if they win or not.
I just think what they've done
The Niners will beat the Bills.
has been impressive.
The Niners will beat the Chiefs. I don't think the Niners beat the Bengals.
Wow. Okay. calm your lips.
Who did you choose in the beginning of the season?
and
to
I
be
see-
in the
I think
Super Bowl?
he went Bills,
No, I say
Niners,
this-
or Bills, Rams.
Oh, yeah,
is what
I
we
Bills
went.
say this
Niners.
because Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes have a panic button, and they press it when things start going wrong and they start running. They start taking, the Bengals
Mahomes
coverage.
is pretty darn good.
Dude, I think you're
I'm-
right.
I'm not
in
saying that he's not.
No, I think you're right in situations where it's late in a game. They press. They want to be
Absolutely.
they don't want. They want to be the guy. They want the ball.
Yes.
which isn't a bad thing.
Joe Burrow will distribute the ball. He's not going to do something stupid, and I'm not taking anything away from Allen and Mahomes because they're amazing. And overall, I think they're better quarterbacks than Joe Burrow right now. But he's going to stay in the pocket.
Yeah, there's
And,
something
and
to be
he'll
said for that.
and he'll only move when he needs to move.
Yeah.
They're not going to organize something just for him to sneak the ball. Now, when Mahomes and Allen do that, okay, throughout the course of the game, it changes drives. But in the playoffs, it's bit both of them several times, not just once. So that's
Well,
what I
recently
think.
with Allen, it's
You're
been
not doing that against the
twice, right?
Niners.
And he
You're
didn't
not
throw
running
picks.
on them. You're not going to run on the Niners like that.
Yeah.
You're just not. They're going to beat you. If you're going to beat the Niners, you got to beat them in the air, and you've got to establish a really good run. The Bills don't have a running game. It's okay. James Cook and Singletary are fine. Pacheco
been
and
pretty good.
McKinnon, they're fine.
and they've
Okay.
been good too.
McKinnon's been really good out of the backfield, but he's doing it in the air.
Yeah.
He's not doing it on the ground. What I'm saying is Joe Mixon will beat you on the ground, and he'll beat you in the air. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they'll beat you in the air. If they don't, Tyler Boyd will. So they're not as one-dimensional as the other two teams. I think they're too reliant on the quarterback play.
Had the Bills made a move on McCaffrey? Are we talking about a whole different thing?
Absolutely.
And yet,
'Cause they're the
Niners
one
made
seed right now.
The Niners are the ones that took the risk and potentially could reap the reward with a third string quarter. That's just why I think Shanahan could very well end up being
He
Coach of the
deserves
year.
to be coach of the year. The
It was
Niners,
that's why I wanted to bring up the Niners, because it's impressive.
they're going to the Super Bowl.
Because your head, I mean,
I've
like,
been saying it
You've
for
said it from the
20
beginning.
weeks.
Yeah.
no, I know.
They're going.
So I just wanted to throw that out there because
Lucked into it with McCaffrey, but still.
Yeah. With all the injury.
I mean, yeah, you just look at what they've had to face. You know, you lose, you have controversy in your starting quarterbacks to start the year. You lose your starting running back. Like, it's been crazy. I think Bosa was out for a minute. Like,
Debo's been out.
yeah, Debo, and now the call Ayuk, he's been, he's dropped off a little bit, but he stepped up when needed to be stepped. So it's,
Ray. McLeod,
I think
the third.
I think
Also
maybe the
better
X
than
factors are also tight ends, right? Kittle's coming on a little bit, and Kelsey's big. With it opens up the offense.
Kittle-
Whereas I don't know if the Bills have. I mean, Knox is good.
he's had a few good games lately.
It's gonna be a fun playoffs. We're lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get to watch it all.
absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. But I wanted to bring up the Niners and kind of, again, I'm not a big Niner fan, but you kind of got to give credit. Not kind of. You have to give credit where credit
absolutely,
is
we do.
due. You watch your lips on here if you don't. The last one I wanted to get into was the Dolphins, Jeff, and I guess you being the Dolphin fan, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I mean, you couldn't have been more happier than where the position the Dolphins are in.
And Tua had never lost. I think when we left, he hadn't lost yet
Right.
as a starter.
Right.
Then
Before we get started, I want to congratulate
Started.
Burns and the Packers and Julie and the Packers. Okay.
We played
Way to
hard.
ruin my Christmas.
Yeah.
Way to ruin Tua's career. Okay.
I think that.
But go
that was
ahead,
ruined
Jake.
Before.
I just
No,
had to get that out
I
of the
was
way
just
'cause
saying
I
thank
don't
you.
want to deal with this.
before we
Thank you.
before we took our little hiatus, our little break for the holidays, again, you kind of got to like where the Dolphins are at. Now we're here a day before New Year's, and it doesn't look good. And he's not starting this weekend. Another concussion that I didn't even notice when watching the game.
I
You
did.
saw it. We talked after that, and then I saw more of it online as people were like, "This dude was not right," and he
Yeah.
didn't look good.
No.
He was. I mean, he did not look good that second half.
No.
Look, I I'm
Let's
a
get
Tua believer.
The 2 hour,
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen.
I am a
And
Tua
we
believer.
have arrived.
But at some point, okay, the first concussion, there was so much controversy in the Bills game, the first Bills game, right? The Bengals, no controversy at all. I mean, he
Clear as day.
was fencing, right? In this game, that's 3 in a year. Okay, he was clearly concussed in the Bills game. How he cleared protocols, we have no idea, right? Semantics that were way beyond us.
What's happened.
Yeah. Bengals, okay, clearly, right? And
Missed
then this
2 or-
one,
yeah,
right?
missed a couple
so now
weeks.
you've been concussed 3 times in, what's he played, 10 games?
15, 14, yeah.
Okay, so 30% of the time that you're on the field, you're hurt.
That's not funny.
It's not
I'm
funny.
I'm not laughing
But
at.
at some point, do you have to consider his long-term health, right? We keep marching
what's,
him out.
What's their playoff situation look? I don't even know what their playoff.
If they win this week against New England and the Jets lose, they're in. Okay, Miami's still 1 game ahead of the Jets, the Titans, the Jaguars, and shit. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
There's 4 teams.
So
Patriots
they just need to win. They take
and the
care of
Patriots.
business.
Okay, so they win this week. Really good chance they're getting in.
If
Okay,
they
'cause-
lose, my point is, if they lose this weekend, do you think it would be wise for him to just not play, or do they still have a chance to make the playoffs? If everybody loses, say.
Well, I think on that level, it's going to be what's his career? Is he going to play next year? I mean, if he's deciding that, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to play, I need to be evaluated in the offseason, then you don't play him. You don't play him in the playoffs. You don't play him in week 18. You get him
you
evaluated.
think big picture, long term,
Big picture, long term.
if
Yeah.
he wants to play.
Yeah, and get rid of fucking Teddy Bathwater because he's horrible. Like, they need a quarterback if that's going to happen. And they need Skylar Thompson isn't the answer either. He's a turnover machine. So
So Derek Carr to Miami.
You
Derek
heard
Carr
it
to
here
Miami.
first.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that.
Jimmy G to Miami. He's a free agent at the end of the year.
You know what? At this point,
What do the Packers do?
I mean, and here's the
They're
thing:
rolling with Rodgers.
I take Tua over a healthy Tua over Derek Carr. I take a healthy Tua over half the league. Really, I truly believe that he can be an elite quarterback.
He was in the first half of that
He
game
was.
Sunday.
He was.
He did really well.
And clearly, when he got hurt, something was off because he misses receivers, but he doesn't miss them like that.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
they weren't even looking.
Yeah.
The last 2 picks, they weren't even looking.
He sailed him. Did you see the interview with, was it Alexander Jair from
Yeah.
the Packers? And he's like, I can't believe it came right to me. And
Right.
he's all excited.
But the longer this goes, the more, as a fan, a true fan, I'd like to consider myself a true fan. Like, you got to look into, what are you doing? Like, Miami Dolphins, what are you doing? Is he hurt? Like, are there long-term,
the business-
is there lingering effects to what has happened?
The business side is you can't wait.
Exactly.
Like, you can't wait for Tua. You got to go make them. And that's what sucks about it, because people get upset. It's like the Derek Carr thing. Like, there's fans that want
They're going to make the playoffs.
They wanted the proper goodbye, the see their guy out, the loyalty that Derek Carr showed the Raiders. And the business side of you says, we're not winning. We need to figure this out to win now.
Here's the tug of war in Miami. We are still trying to find the next Dan Marino. He retired in 2001. Okay? We haven't found him yet. So Miami fans have a really tough time when we see something like this, like Tua. He's on a golden platter now.
But that's the
He's
maybe that's the
winning.
problem with the Miami fans, is like the Niners. I'm sure the Niners loved their era of Steve Young and Montana, but they moved on.
Yeah.
Maybe Dolphins fans just move the fuck on.
To what? That's the problem with Dolphins fans.
They like
there
to get to the
isn't
Super
anything
Bowl
else.
and lose.
But look at the
You-
Niners is what I'm saying. Like, the Niners aren't sitting here talking about the good old days of Montana.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm not shitting on Dolphins fan or you. I'm just saying
I'm not
I
taking it that
I
way.
understand that, like, that was your last elite dude or whatever. I mean,
But you've had stability in coaching staffs as well.
so
Like
ownership
even back to
and
Steve
management
Mariucci,
has
he
just,
was there for
Yeah.
a few years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Not a flash in the pan. The one thing that Miami cannot do is
Are
fire
you blaming
Mike
Nick
McDaniel.
Saban for the downfall?
No. The ownership sucks, dude. The ownership is horrendous. It's been that way for years.
But they brought in Tyreek. They brought in McDaniel.
No, they have a ton of weapons. They're gonna make the playoffs. I really, truly, in my heart, believe they're gonna make the playoffs. I think they're
That
gonna beat
changed
the
since Sunday.
Patriots.
But I'm talking about the business part of it. So let's move on from do you think they're going to make the playoffs? I'm saying.
You're saying what do you do with Tua?
Yeah. Do you just say, you know what? It is what it is. We go get somebody and he's the backup, or he battles with a Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Because I think
go ahead, go get Derek Carr and let him
if
battle
I'm
it
the
out.
Dolphins, I'm getting free agent. I'm not drafting a quarterback unless I have the option to get the best quarterback coming into the draft. If I don't, then I'm hitting free agency for the best available.
Which would be Ryan Tannehill, who was already a Dolphin.
Do you think Tannehill's
No, Lamar Jackson. They may go get Lamar
So
Jackson.
then that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will. But like for me,
And let Tua
I
make
still got this love for Tua.
listen, I don't
the
think-
only reason why, and I've told you guys this time and time again.
But would you
why
love
you don't get excited as a Miami
Hey,
fan, because
but-
this
but-
shit happens right here.
But what
and
about
I'll be the first to
what
shit
about
on
the
them.
What about the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They didn't care if Nick Foles was their quarterback or Carson Wentz. They wanted a Super Bowl. If you had to pick between it doesn't matter the quarterback, but whoever it was in a Super Bowl and Tua, which would you rather have? You want the Super Bowl. You want to win.
Yeah.
And if Tua's not the guy, if he can't stay on the field because you talk about ambulance chasers, and not that getting concussed is his fault
Yeah, well, part of it is to learn how to fall. Seriously.
or get tackled.
Like, you never got in a fight in your life?
but I mean, he's
once
Like,
you
dude,
get a concussion,
he falls straight on his back and the back of his head hits.
Yeah.
If you look at every single concussion, he's fallen the same
I mean,
way.
it
Why
seems
are
to
you
be
not-
the case.
Why are you not trying to brace your fall? Break your clavicle, not your brain.
yeah.
Like, seriously.
When I think once you have a concussion, you're more prone to get one.
Sure. Yeah.
Like within
it
the-
doesn't take as a massive as a hit.
Yeah. So maybe he
Going
got
forward,
away
right?
with falling that
Look,
way. Maybe he has no
I
choice.
hope Tua is a Dolphin long term. I don't believe that we've seen the best of Tua. I think he's
Can
still
I have
young.
you watch your lips on one thing? You said you still believe that they're going to make the playoffs, but I have text message saying that they're not going to make it and Green Bay's
But
not
was
gonna
that a
make it from you.
frustrated
Yeah, that was probably out of frustration. I don't
after a loss?
look.
Don't bail him out.
I
I'm
don't-
just
no,
saying
no.
I would do
Him
the
out.
same for you. Check
No,
your
but what I'm
sources.
saying is, I think Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bathwater, can beat the Patriots. The Patriots are not a good team. I've been saying that forever. They're not good. They're lucky to be where they're at 7-8. Seriously. So if they lose to the Patriots, no chance Miami gets in the playoffs. They're not beating the Jets. It's not going to happen. Not with Teddy. No way. Okay? So if they get by this game, I believe the one game leap that they have on everybody is going to get them into the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. Green Bay, on the other hand, I'm not trying to whack you with the stick right here. Okay? You got the Vikings and you got Detroit.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot for them to get in.
Yeah.
And
they're
I
good.
think they need a lot of losses too.
And the Vikings are trying to keep a number 2 seed, and the Lions are biting kneecaps. So, a hell of a lot tougher road to me
Yeah.
for Green Bay to get in. But
Well, listen, this is going to be out after the weekend's game. So, again, if you're listening,
it already happened.
yeah, it already happened. So,
Green Bay already
we're
lost.
obviously
Miami won.
the other thing I wanted to get to before we get to picks and finish this is the odd thing about who replaces Carr, and the name Brady keeps popping up, and I'm thinking,
That would be
why doesn't he just
disaster.
go?
If
Go
he
home.
goes to the Raiders, disaster.
sleep.
Do you feel like
Does Gronk come back?
he just should retire?
I think he will retire.
Because people talk about how bad they've been, and I'm thinking, yeah, but they still have Mike Evans, they still have Godwin, they
you got Fournette.
still have
You
Fournette.
got-
they still have pieces
you
on
got
offense.
White. Yeah. I mean,
and you just haven't been good. Like, is it done? Is it time to ride off into the sunset?
He's still throwing for 300 yards a game.
Hey,
too,
listen,
right?
but they're not winning.
I know it's weird. I don't get it.
Look,
Is he turning the ball over more?
I would be excited if Tom Brady comes to Miami. I would be. I think he needs to retire, but I would be excited as a fan for one
But see,
year.
that helps. That's what I'm saying. A guy like that or Carr helps. In my opinion, a guy like Tua have the longevity, or that'll help his career, because if he can sit a little bit more next year behind somebody, not just to learn but to get healthy, that helps what you want. It gives you.
Yes,
it gives
I agree with you.
Years.
He's gonna want
I
to play.
agree with you, but he's at the point, if he's playing, he wants to get paid now. Kyler got paid.
Well, I think
Burrow's
Tua's
get
going to
paid.
run into a situation going forward of
Viability.
well, organizations are going to look at this history as far as his medical go and say, like, hey, it's like the Carlos Correa situation.
Right.
Everybody's going to be hesitant to pay Tua. So
I would be
there's
too.
not an organization that's
So he's
not
either
going
stuck
to,
as a Dolphin or he's retiring. I'm okay with that.
or you're going to take the deals you can get.
I just don't know how many teams would.
Like in
But,
his,
I
in
mean,
his
maybe they will.
shoes, his
Maybe they
shoes,
will.
I don't see how you can get greedy with it. But the Brady thing, I was like, no, if I'm
Yeah, he needs to retire. Brady.
you got a $300 million deal waiting for you to be an analyst or whatever, just go do it. Like, go, you're the GOAT. You got the most rings.
This season has to wear on you, though. Like, personally and professionally, it's got to be the most trying year he's ever had. Like, he's in the headlines for negative reasons. How often was Tom Brady in the headlines?
It's not been about
for
football.
negative reasons?
It's not been about football.
Not very often.
You got that FTX
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
His divorce.
That's what I'm saying. So this year has been a complete disaster for him personally. Now, what can solve it all is he beats Dallas in the first round, and then all of a sudden he gets that resurgence, and holy shit.
Well, and that's the
Tom
thing with
Brady's,
Brady. It's
Tom
always
Brady's
like,
playing the
yeah.
Eagles.
But like none of those guys at that level. Brett Favre didn't want to retire,
No.
No, you're a
he's-
competitor, dude.
and he came back, and he had a couple more successful years,
the Vikings.
NFC Championship.
Yeah, they did well.
Yeah, Jets.
but he also
Jets.
probably stayed a little too long after that.
I heard somewhere that he claims he had like over 1,000 concussions. Brett Favre does.
I mean, you can tell that to a judge, I guess. See what they have to say. Maybe that's his. I plead insanity. Yeah, we'll see what Brady does. I just thought it was interesting because his name came up going to Vegas, and I was like, like, what good does that do for the Raiders in the time?
Zero good.
I mean, unless you're gonna. I mean,
Or
I know.
if you're trying to keep Devontae, maybe that's a
Well, and I know
maybe.
Stidham was there in New England under this offense. Brady knows this offense. Is it something?
Dude, Brady's not going to the Raiders because you're not going to win that division.
Didn't Dana White
He's
come out
staying.
and say he had it all set up for?
I had
Gronk
heard
and
that.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, I heard that.
He was when he was on the Manning cast. He said that too.
I don't know.
He's not going to the Raiders.
We've skipped picks the last couple weeks. Obviously, we've been away, so nothing's changed. We're gonna finish the last 2 weeks with the scores as they.
I've been picking the whole
yeah,
time.
that doesn't matter.
I have all my.
I know. So have I.
So-
I've won
I
all
won
8
every-
games.
Yeah, new totals.
And I've got the most kicking points, although I'm still down by 29 or whatever it is. So let's get into our picks. We're going to finish the last 2 weekends. I think picks wise, you have a 1 point lead on me, and you're only back, what, 5?
5.
Okay. And as
gonna
far as
be rough.
kickers go, I think Jeff's the only one that can really catch you realistically.
Yeah.
I think you got it sewn up. So, Burnsy, if you want to go ahead, if you're third there, go take your picks, your picks for week 17.
Don't copy him. 49ers over Raiders.
Got him.
Chiefs over Denver.
Got him.
New England over Dolphins. Do you got that?
No.
Jacksonville over Houston. Chargers over the Rams. Detroit over Chicago, and the upset is Panthers over the Bucks.
Jeffrey?
Eagles over the Saints. Chiefs over the Broncos. Jags over the Texans. Niners over the Raiders. Chargers over the Rams. Giants over the Colts. And the upset is Fins up. Dolphins over the Pats.
Interesting. Chiefs over the Broncos. I'm going Giants over the Colts. Eagles over the Saints. Jags over Texans. Niners over Raiders. Pats over the Dolphins. And my upset is the Seahawks over the Jets.
All right, so I got 2 points on you guys.
Yeah, I don't think
At
I can
least.
catch up based on those picks.
No, because Dolphins are going to win.
We still have 2 weeks, Burns, so
Well, I'm saying because we picked very similar,
we did.
all of us.
We
so.
did. There's a couple differences in there.
Burns, my kicker is Badgley.
Mine is Myers.
I'm going Justin Tucker.
Okay.
Oh, you haven't.
Oh, you're back in.
Oh,
huh?
he's back.
I mean,
Down by
I got to
80.
play.
Down by 80,
You gotta
and he's
play.
still kicking, boys.
Never say never. Also, ladies and gentlemen, the first annual Watch Your Lips fantasy football season is coming to a close.
Woo!
And surprise, surprise, it features the championship game, none other than yours truly, and Kevin Burns.
What it doesn't feature is Michael Pittman, because I should have beat Jake. I was only
60.
down by 60, and this asshole can't even catch.
And 60 in this
Any
league
passes.
is nothing.
No,
Nothing.
60.
It's-
I needed 4 catches and like 50 yards, and I would have beat Jake. But no,
Now listen,
fucking Nick Foles can't throw.
dude, he was one of
wounded ducks.
atrocious.
one of
He's
7
throwing wounded
with
ducks.
3 picks.
So I'm playing for the third place game.
I will say in my
against
defense,
Cargill.
DeAndre Hopkins had the same thing with Trace McSorley. I mean, he had 1 catch.
Yeah,
2
dude,
catches.
it didn't matter. At that point, it was
No,
Pittman or die. And
But
it
I'm
was
saying
die.
my teams where you had 1 guy left to roll out, and I'd rolled with Hopkins and McSorley, and it was awful.
But this week you're off to a stellar start.
I am. CeeDee Lamb and
Which I don't like.
Schultz put up a good game against the Titans.
Hopefully
There are
everybody
some
else lays
question
an
marks
egg.
that you going to play Devontae.
I'm playing him. I'm
You
rolling with
have
him.
to.
Yeah, I can't.
gotta
not.
play Devontae.
Yeah, he's gonna have a huge game. 200 points.
Yeah, I'm honestly I don't think you'll ever hear anybody say this, and unless it's fantasy related. I'm glad that Colt McCoy is back at quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, because I could not, if DeAndre Hopkins would not give me anything if McSorley
Right.
was still there. I would be in trouble.
I wish that he was.
And I have Tyreek Hill. You're saying Teddy two gloves.
2 gloves, Teddy Bathwater.
It did well. I didn't see the stats with Tyreek.
But
so
I cancel it out because of Waddle.
Right, you have Waddle. So that
Teddy's going to be fine in this game.
You think Waddle's going to have a bigger game than Hill?
No, I think Hill will have a bigger game.
so you're saying I'm going to win the first ever
I think so. I
Yeah.
Watch Your
Yeah.
Lips. Does it count? I had last pick, by the way, just so we're clear. I had 16th pick.
You're projected to
Jake,
score
we took 3
600
of the
points.
top 4 positions
Yeah.
in the Watch Your Lips.
and you also
Wasn't designed.
Jeff
And
also
Frazier
didn't
was guaranteed
Jeff
that well.
also didn't tell anybody in the league the rules until about the 4th or 5th round.
I tried. You guys didn't
I
want me
tried.
to. We covered this
I
already.
tried.
It's
shitting on
good to
me.
be back, fellas.
It is.
It's been a couple weeks.
It is very good to be back.
Feels good. Sorry if it was a little slow for everybody, but hey, we're back. We're working the cobwebs out. We will continue. We got to get through the fun next week for picks, so we will be back. Anything else, boys? Any?
What's it? Happy New Year.
Happy New
Hope
Year.
you had a
And,
happy New Year.
I hope everybody
Our
stayed
thoughts and
safe.
prayers go out to the Bravo family. We're
Yes.
thinking about you guys, especially you, Caleb. Yeah.
Burnsy.
At Watch Your _lips on Twitter and Instagram. At Watch Your Lips on TikTok. Burns,
Jeff, you still have hats available?
I have 2.
2 hats. Those.
Hey, my mama wants one, huh? She was
Okay.
telling us.
Okay.
No discounts. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
She
She'll-
gets one.
$40.
Hit me. I'll give it
Go to
away.
YouTube.
Hit subscribe.
Hit subscribe.
Subscribe.
And if you're watching,
But if you're watching, okay, go and listen on all the platforms that we're on and download for us, please.
And then share it.
Download and share.
that's
Share.
the New Year's resolution
I was just going to say that,
for the podcast, not for me personally, for the podcast.
is that all of you share it. That's our New Year's resolution.
Yeah, is
that
that
you
you
share
guys-
it, you download that shit, subscribe,
Do it all.
do it all.
Do it.
1,000. We need to get hit or die. Couldn't do it though.
Julie didn't get back to me about the bet that we had on the Packers. We'll table that for now, and I'll get with her and we'll figure it out.
Hey,
You didn't bet?
I tried. We tried to bet. I tried to come up with one, but you didn't want to wear a skirt on a golf course.
No.
You would have been, too.
Yeah.
You were this close.
I would have looked like Ace Ventura because of Aaron Rodgers' hair.
Laces out.
yeah. Finkel.
And Einhorn.
Yeah. Anyways,
Watch your lips.
wrap that
Watch
shit
your
up.
lips.
Somebody wrap it up.
All right,
All right.
boys. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks
night.
for listening, guys. Watch your lips. Thanks.